Okay. Wow. All right. So guys, now that I put the header bracket on, I'm gonna find out which cable is which, because my garage came pre-installed with wires on the side. So those are wires for the sensor, and there's another one on the other side right here, as you can see. So they're both blue wires, and the thing is that up here it has 3 wires coming out. I don't know if you can see, there's 3 wires coming out. So two of them are from so one of each side. That's 2 wires already up there, and then one from here, the control. As you can see here, there's a hanging wire, and that comes here too to connect to the garage door opener. So, but the thing is, those cables are all blue, and what you need is, we're gonna do a continuity test. So move it depending on your multimeter, or you can buy a continuity tester. Put it on the Wi-Fi kind of symbol, and so there's another problem, that these cables are too short. So because once you plug it in, one end will go to that cable. For example, if you have like blue cable or something in there, then you have to connect another one, like for example the red end, on one of the cable to find out which cable is the correct one for the sensor, and which cable is the correct one for the door controller over there. So we're gonna use the continuity sensor, but I'm gonna use another cable which I have here. So that came with the sensor. Those cables, I stripped them on both sides, on both ends, as you can see. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use one which is gonna hook up to one of the end of the black one. So this one will go to the other cable right there, right? And then this will go to that cable too, and this end will go to the cable on top. So my cables are too short to test both ends, so I'm going to use the cable that came with the sensor, strip the ends, both ends, right? I'm going to use one to connect with the multimeter, and then another one that goes to that sensor over there, and the one that is on the top near the garage door opener, I'm going to test which wires is the correct one for the sensor, and the correct one for the garage door opener controller near the door. Okay, let's do that. So having already set the multimeter to the continuity settings, I'm gonna use the black cable and put in the COM here. Okay, then since there's no voltage on those cables, the cables that I'm gonna test, there's no voltage. We're just gonna use the ohmmeter here, and next let's connect one end. So we're gonna choose the right one. with the red one right here, and we're gonna wrap around here to see if to connect that cable to extend it to the other side. I'm gonna plug this end to that cable over there, and I'm gonna repeat for that cable, and we're gonna do it for the door too. So okay, we come here to the other end of the sensor. There's a already pre-wired cable. You guys can also you know, don't have to use a pre-wired cable. You can just staple the cable along, then go run it to the garage door opener instead. That might be easier, but I'm gonna use this so it looks better, but it requires a little bit more work here because we need to find out which cable is which, so we can sure. So we're gonna test. So this is a cat cable, so it has, this is for using these cables are used for Ethernet cable, but they're pretty cheap, so I guess it came pre-installed like this in most of the house. So you only need to pick 2 colors out of this because the sensor only needs 2. So I'm gonna pick blue, blue and white. Okay. Right. So they all twisted together, these cables. What we're gonna do is we're gonna plug the multimeter here, that extension cable from the multimeter to here, and then the other end of the multimeter will test on the other cable that come out at the garage door opener on the ceiling. So we connected, see, together the blue cable with the white cable on the extension cord that goes to the multimeter. So this is gonna be, so we connected the extension cord from the blue cable of the sensor, go through here, and we're gonna bring this white cord and then connect it to the multimeter, and the multimeter will connect up there. So we already as you can see, I already stripped the cables here. So there was 3 pre-wired cables. I stripped this, and each cable has like different 4 sets of color, and what I chose was blue and blue white here, which is its twisted pair. And so I did that for all the 3 cables here, 1, 2 and 3 up here. So you can see it's all stripped at the end of the blue cable. I'm gonna try to test to find out which cable in here runs to that cable over there. So now what we're gonna do is let's set the continuity tester, the multimeter, to this right here. You can see, and then we're gonna use the white extension cable here, and then so we're gonna put on one. So either one, like blue, black or red. So I'm gonna choose the red for the white one because that white one actually goes to that sensor over there. It's connected to the blue cable, and so we need to connect the black here to the blue cable up there and find out which of the 3 cable up on the ceiling is belong to that sensor. And we're gonna do that for the left sensor and also for that cable next to the door. the remote door. Okay, so as you can see, I attached the white cable here on the red, and we're gonna do that for touch the black to the cable up here and find out which of the three cables belongs to that sensor. So okay, now let's find out which of the cable up there. So let's see, this one, the blue cable here, it's not showing anything on the multimeter right here, as you can see. Okay, this cable over here, that's a blue cable too. Nope. And then this one, we see some numbers, so I guess it's this one. That's the right side sensor cable that we wanted to find. So I guess we're gonna mark this. You can see you can see a reading here. It means continuity on here. So that's the cable that we want to mark that as the right side sensor, right? So there's other cables doesn't have it, the blue cables here. Yeah, so we found one. Yay. So once you find that is the right cable for the right sensor, I put a sticker here, as you can see, it says right sensor, so I know next time when I come back that is for the right sensor. Then now let's go find the left sensor. So let's do it for the left sensor. This is the left side of the garage door, and I stripped this already out of this. Yeah, so this is the left side of the garage door, so I stripped this cable out already. So this goes to the wall and goes next to the garage door opener on the ceiling. So we're gonna get the blue cable since we did blue for the right side sensor already. So let's just untangle this and use this cutter and just strip the end, maybe about like, yeah, just a little bit. Then you can use your hand to pull this out. Yeah, so it's gonna come out pretty easily. Okay, so if it's too short, as you can see, you can either like do a little bit more here, but okay, and we pull it right here. You go. If you have nails, okay. So that's a blue, and then let's connect it with the extension cable to the multimeter. So we use that same extension cable from the right side for the left side now, and let's twist together the blue and the white. Okay, so when up there we're testing, make sure that you test the blue one and not other cable color here, because we only need 2 cables and we just need one to find which one is it up there on the ceiling. Okay, so it's touching, so let's go up there on the ceiling and find the other cable. Let's take this end up, then let's get the multimeter, which I'm gonna get here in a second. Okay, let's get the multimeter ready. I'm gonna set again to the continuity and make sure this is plugged in, because otherwise you won't have a good reading. This is pushed in. Okay, so let's get this cable and then So we use the white cable, remember? That's not the white and red, but the white one. So let's just plug on just one, and then let's go up the ladder, and okay. I'm gonna show you. So okay. Up there, let's find which cable is currently the left sensor, okay? So with that, it's touching, okay? It's kind of delicate a little bit. So let's test for continuity to find out which cable is for the left sensor cable of the garage door. So let's touch this. So we have about, you can see it's 1-2 ohms. So very little resistance. That means there's continuity here. So let's touch another cable up there and see how what it shows. So there's about, if you can see, 0.87 mega ohms. So those are like really high resistance. That means very little continuity or no continuity at all, because it's no grounding. So I guess it's showing this number. So if you have high ohms like this, that means there's no continuity. If you have really little ohms here, you can see it's showing here ohms, mega ohms. So mega ohms is no continuity at all. So we found that this cable here is the one that has continuity. So let's mark that. Okay. So I wrote on a piece of sticker here. Then I'm gonna peel it off. I'm gonna put it on the wire to mark that it's the one that we found here, which is this one, to be the left sensor cable. So yes. So we remember that next time, this is the cable that we need to use to plug it into the garage door opener for the sensor. Alright, so I guess we have 2 cables out of 3. So the right sensor, the left sensor, and the other one. This is probably, most likely, that cable near that door over there. Okay. Next, so we come to the door now. So here we already found 2 of the cables, one left and one on the right. And now we go to the door. That's where you're gonna push to control the door open and close. And so we want a little bit of length here from the end. So you use a cutter to cut this, make it around that that plastic that is shielding the wire, and I guess twist it and pull. So we have all these colors cable here, and I guess we're gonna use the blue and white cable as well, so we know that it's those cables that it's gonna connect to the garage door opener. So we untwist this, as you can see. I'm gonna put that down here. Okay. So untwist it. Then we're gonna strip this out. Let's take this. So a little bit. and use your pull with your hand, then it's stripped. You see, it's that easy. And we're gonna do it for the blue and white color cable as well, because now that okay, so it's stripped as well right now. So just for fun, like we're gonna do, just to confirm, like we're gonna do final test that it's that cable that goes to the last cable near the garage door opener. So let's reuse the same cable here that we used to test with the volt, the multimeter. So it goes to the blue and blue here, and I'm gonna twist them together so we can test the continuity up there. All right. Okay, so let's leave it like that. Okay, then so remember those cables don't have power, so you don't need to turn off the power. Let's grab the multimeter and then let's set it to the continuity mode like last time. Then let's go up there and then try to find that. Okay, so let's try to confirm that the last cable is actually, so let's connect, it's actually that cable that is from the door right there. So let's connect and press it to hold it, and okay. You can see it's 2.5 ohms, a little bit of resistance but not too much. So that's that cable, so it's good. We're gonna mark that cable, and we're done for now. So in the next step, what we want to do now is we're gonna put this on the table here, and we're gonna attach the other end on that header bracket. So you can only, if you only have one person, then that's fine. You can put this on here, and later on you might need help. Let's lift this. Oh, that's pretty heavy. Put on here, and let's move that table here. More than you know. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I have that on the table. Okay, then I'm gonna use the other end, and I'm gonna need one of the pelvis pin here. Use the longer one because there's a shorter one, so we use the longer one for the header bracket, and then use this to for the other end, and goes into this hole. Alright, I'm gonna move this up. So with the clevis pin, we're gonna move, be careful, gently lift up. Then I think I'm gonna need this to move a little bit forward, because this doesn't reach up here yet, so need to pull this a little bit more. Hold on. So I'm gonna lift it. It's too far behind. I'm gonna lift it. Lift more. Lift up. Lift up. Lift up. Lift up more. So you reach the other end. Yeah. Oh, this is too short, so scratch can column. Okay, so you lift this until it's up there. You touch up there. Okay. So make sure this is faced up. This is facing the ceiling, and let's adjust that hole. Put this inside. Hold on. Double check so it reached the other side. Okay, it's outside here. You can see. Came outside, and use this. Okay, to attach it. So just like a keychain. Okay, it's in now. As you can see. Okay, it's good. So it's attached. So now we're gonna do the next step. Okay, back to your body. So we got this to mount. So make sure like you get the frame here up there to be on the joist. So you need to use stud finder to find the joist on top. So you don't screw it on the drywall. So use lag screw to attach the support here. Okay. I'm gonna show you. So lag screw. So I find it's better to put lag screw close to each other than far away, because otherwise it will vibrate in the middle. And so the joist runs along this line. So that's where I put the screws, the lag screws here. Then you need to have these hex screws attached. So I got lucky because the length of this, I didn't have to cut it. Otherwise you would have to cut it if you have shorter ceilings. So you would have to cut these two frames here that attach to the garage door opener. Okay, so it was challenging because this was really heavy, so you had to attach it on top. So you have to use 4x6, stack it together